with pancakes and sleeping in with waffles and smiles. Wake up to wow with Nutella.
This is our moment. We're not asking. We're telling you. We're rewriting this story. One page at a time. One ballot at a time. Standing up to anyone who wants us to stay silent. And showing up even if it's hard. We've been watching and listening and on the front lines. This moment is ours. Be part of the change. History is made by everyday people, so disrupt everything. Vote early. Vote by mail. Vote until justice is real.
Celebrate Christina turns their trash into cash. I want money. What are you going to buy? That's what I want. The greater the risk, a lot of money. The greater the reward.
We took a Spanish revival and we modernized it, and it looks incredible.
You know why I like the nastiest houses, right? It's because it lets you watch you squirt. The season premiere of Wicker Club, Thursday night at 9, only on HGTV.
Long hair, help seal split ends. L5 Dream Lights with a cocktail of vitamins and fine castor oil. Strengthens hair's length to save that last inch for the hair of your dreams. L5 Dream Lights from L'Oreal Paris. You're worth it.
I see what's possible instead of what's here. Others see cracked, run-down books. I see a way to bring pride back to the communities. That's why I made Project Backboard and a site with GoDaddy. How will you make your mark? Make the world you want.
Amazon Prime Day is back on October 13th and 14th. Save big on things for you, for each other, and everything you need to start your holiday shopping early. Amazon Prime Day, October 13th and 14th.
This is time that matters. A window of time to help protect the ones you love. Your preteen benefits from staying up to date with their well visits. This is your window of protection. Schedule their well visit now.
For every NBA moment, there's a flavor on DoorDash.
Hi, I'm Chris Rock. Oh, it's not about me. I get it. No. Zoom in on it. The new iPhone 12 Pro with 5G meets Verizon 5G. The 5G just got real, man. Wow.
FBI got $9 million in stolen money. Yes, I robbed 12 banks. I'm turning myself in. We take this for ourselves. Whoa, hey. I want to clear my name.
Your word against theirs.
I need a confession. No one will ever believe you. I'm coming for you. 3, 2, 1. Okay to confess. Honesty. Rated PG-13. In theaters Friday.
My turn. It shows up at the end of the year. Coffee makes seasonal flavors. It really makes the season with peppermint mocha.
It's related to nature.
Pumpkin spice. This is gonna be a while.
Yeah. Try Coffee Mate seasonal flavors. Coffee's perfect holiday new.
Trouble getting to the dentist? I've had a lot of toothaches in the past. I've tried pain pills. They never did anything for me. Nothing works like this right here, Orange Gel. Just put it right up here and wiped out the pain.
Orange Gel, America's #1 toothache pain reliever. This right here, this is that new Powerade Power Wash. This is my squad bringing down so many things. Meteorologists will call this
Tropical storm bucket!
and this is me just getting started. New Powerade Power Wash. More power than me.
Next on TNT, AEW celebrates 1 year of Dynamite with 3 championships on the line. Best Friends challenge FTR. Orange Cassidy takes on Cody. And Lance Archer gets a shot at Jon Moxley. AEW's gonna have a killer champion. All Elite Wrestling is live on TNT. Watch Wednesday Night Dynamite next.
seconds. Exactly.
AEW 1 year anniversary and WWE NXT live reactions, play-by-play live right here on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions. Play-by-play, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke at 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media as well. Hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE NXT. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. We are on the road to WWE NXT Halloween Havoc 2 weeks from tonight, and also AEW Full Gear on November the 7th. Keep an eye out for more live reaction streams live right here on YouTube as well. But tonight, AEW celebrating their 1 year anniversary after debuting on TNT last October the 2nd, along with WWE NXT moving from the WWE Network to USA on cable television, head-to-head, side-by-side with one another in another ratings war. We'll have live reactions, play-by-play, live of both AEW and NXT this evening. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. On AEW's 1 year anniversary show, we have a few championship matches along with MJF's major announcement. We'll have to see if he will, in fact, join the inner circle or not. Of course, this is just fueling a story, a feud with Chris Jericho, your demo god himself, Le Champion, against MJF, Maxwell, Jacob, Freeman. Only time will tell if they do, in fact, have a match at Full Gear on November the 7th, or if they hold off and wait until early next year at a potential Revolution pay-per-view at the end of February, potentially early March. Honestly, don't know at this point in time what the next pay-per-view past Full Gear in late 2020, early 2021 will be, as it was last year, Full Gear into Revolution on Leap Day before the pandemic hit, of course, and then no crowds for any shows whatsoever. They've AEW has at least, along with NXT now, with NXT TakeOver 31 and the NXT tapings for television the past 2.5 weeks or so. That's for NXT. AEW past 2.5 months or so, bringing fans back live in attendance. WWE still has the Thunderdome for Raw and SmackDown, of course, as we just got done with the 2020 WWE Draft, as the rosters have been shaken up. Once again, NXT, of course, was not involved in that, but we do have some injuries once again in NXT, with Finn Balor having jaw surgery as his face is all swelled up. He's still your current NXT champion. We'll see if they have him drop the title or not. I wouldn't think so, just due to the fact he just won the title, and they just took the title off of Karrion Kross before then due to an injury as well. So it wouldn't look good by any means, but that's what you have to do. That's what we have to do sometimes. So we'll have to see tonight if they make any such announcement in that regard on NXT, as both AEW and NXT are about to be in on TNT and USA respectively, coming up at the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time this Wednesday night, October the 14th, 2020. So hopefully everyone's staying safe. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. But a few championship matches, as mentioned, for AEW Dynamite, their 1-year anniversary show tonight. The main event will in fact be Jon Moxley and Lance Archer for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We'll also get the TNT title on the line with Cody Rhodes returning, regaining that championship title over the Exalted One, Brody Lee. Cody Rhodes, Orange Cassidy tonight on AEW. FTR, F the Rest, formerly known as the Revival in the WWE. They'll take on Best Friends for the AEW Tag Team Championships as well. Sheeta and Big Swole for the AEW Women's Championship of the World. And then only one tag team match with Miro, formerly known as Rusev. Of course, it's now Miro Day, with Kip Sabian, the Twitch tag team, versus an unknown opponent at this point in time, plus MJF's major announcement, as mentioned, that will probably have something to do with Jericho and the Inner Circle. And then if they do end up having a match versus one another at Full Gear, or any time from now until then, of course, or at any point afterwards, but only time will in fact tell. But it should be an interesting night, especially for AEW. But NXT also has a few championship matches as well, along with number one contendership matches to determine new NXT tag team number one contenders, along with a new number one contender for Io Shirai's NXT Women's Championship, where Io Shirai will then defend her championship against that winner in 2 weeks at Halloween Havoc, as Shotzi Blackheart will take on Candice LeRae in that women's number one contendership match. Winner will face Io Shirai in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from tonight. WWE NXT Halloween Havoc returning for the first time in 2 decades. I'll have live reactions play of that, along with AEW as well. Of course, that was formerly known as WCW Halloween Havoc, but with the WWE buying out the formerly known company as World Championship Wrestling, Halloween Havoc, along with In Your House this year, returning in the year 2020. So Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks' time. Shotzi Blackheart, Candice LeRae tonight to determine Io Shirai's new number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Also, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Fish and O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era to determine the new number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team titles as well. We also have a recently added match with Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory in singles competition, along with, I would assume, tonight's main event, Damian Priest and Dexter Lumis returning from injury as well. This will be for the NXT North American Championship. And then, as mentioned, the NXT title, Finn Balor, your current champion, injured on the shelf once again. Just got surgery this past Friday for a broken jaw that he suffered in his championship match against Kyle O'Reilly at NXT TakeOver 31, in which he retained. O'Reilly also banged up in that match, so they're keeping Cole, Fish, O'Reilly strong, all the Undisputed Era, along with Finn Balor on the back burner for now, it seems like, along with Ridge Holland, who was injured last week on NXT. They teased the storyline with Ridge and the Undisputed Era at the end of TakeOver 31, but obviously now that has also once again been put on the back burner because he's going to be out for quite some time with an injury. So NXT with the injury bug right now, but it's how it goes sometimes. So you have to obviously go to a plan B, as they like to say, and continue to move on and put out your best product that you possibly can. So we'll have to see how both AEW and NXT how they go tonight. As mentioned, with AEW having their 1-year anniversary show, obviously, yes, a couple weeks pushed back. Of course, not the exact 1-year date. It was October the 2nd in Washington, D.C., with AEW and NXT coming on the air live, head-to-head against one another on national television. But with how the schedule has worked out over the past few weeks, they of course pushed this back until tonight. AEW Dark still on the air on their YouTube channel as well. That's 1 year strong and counting. Cody Rhodes also, as AEW has been teasing as of late, Cody Rhodes announced the other day that the third hour for AEW on TV will be on a Turner Network channel. However, we still don't know any further details beyond that. So only time will tell, as I like to say, in that regard too. So as far as I know, it's not going to be just a single hour of pro wrestling, as they already have AEW Dark on YouTube. It seems like that'll be staying put. It could be a WWE backstage type of show with previews and recaps and analysis of some sorts, but we'll have to see. Of course, as we enter the now second full year of AEW on TNT. NXT, of course, has been strong for 5 years and counting now, but only for 1 year as well on the USA Network. AEW about to begin, NXT about to begin as well. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions, play-by-play, live right here on YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag WWE NXT as well. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated too. So AEW Wednesday night Dynamite will have good old JR, Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on commentary. AEW bringing back the opening video package this evening, as that was on a short hiatus over the past few weeks, but now some pyro in Jacksonville at Daly's Place, right next to TIAA Bank Field, home of the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars. And all right, now they got some, by the looks of it, 3D graphics, but that also did look like a clear glass shield with the AEW logo on it. We do have fans in attendance, of course, socially distanced, wearing masks. We got some superstars already in the ring, and it seems like FTR and Best Friends will kick off the night for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford ringside, acting as if they're in a 1980s mall playing an arcade game. And Justin Roberts getting us started. FTR, Best Friends for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Chucky T, Trent Beretta, Best Friends, Orange Cassidy later on tonight against Cody Rhodes for the TNT title. Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, Tully Blanchard as well, FTR. And they're sporting some new in-ring gear. Some red, white, and blue with their names. As Tully, of course, is managing FTR. Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, formerly known as the Revival once again. NXT now underway, then now WWE Forever. We also have some college football on this Wednesday night following the second ever NFL Tuesday night game last night, in which Tennessee Titans defeated the Buffalo Bills 42-16. Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Lafayette tied up at 7 nearing the end of the first quarter. MLB playoffs continue this evening as well. Now a recap to NXT from last week. Ember Moon, of course, the mystery partner that came out during NXT TakeOver 31. She was on NXT then last week. Said mommy's home and she wants some gold. So then it seems like for the NXT women's division, it's Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, Ember Moon, and a returning Toni Storm. Toni time tonight on NXT, as well as she'll face off against an unknown opponent as well. So recap from NXT from last week. Of course, Holland suffering that injury, stretchered out. Ember Moon was also in action. They had a tag team main event match. It was Ember and Rhea versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. As this recap now officially comes to an end, we're at the new Capitol Wrestling Center, of course, the revamped WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. So they just changed the name, of course. No more WWE Performance Center. It's the Capitol Wrestling Center on the grounds of the WWE PC, as they're saying. Hashtag WWE NXT. They spiced up the graphics along with some video boards. The production has been scaled up to a level in which the WWE Thunderdome has been as of late since SummerSlam weekend. Undisputed Era coming out. It seems like we'll have Fish and O'Reilly, or Fish and Strong, excuse me. Kyle O'Reilly injured. Still coming out with them. No Adam Cole though. We'll see what they do with him since Holland's now injured. It seems like they were going that direction in a singles bout, but it'll be Fish and Strong, Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong, the Undisputed Era, with Kyle O'Reilly ringside taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch to determine the new NXT #1 contenders for the NXT tag team titles. FTR and Best Friends for the AEW World Tag Team titles as well. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out by Best Friends. Be sure to share on social media if you haven't done so already. Hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE NXT. Thanks once again for tuning in and watching. We have fans in attendance for the first time ever, side by side with both AEW and NXT in quite some time, since earlier this year. So now Kyle O'Reilly cutting a promo with the Undisputed Era for this tag team match will commence. So 2 tag team matches kicking off the night live on AEW and NXT respectively.
And just like this is the first of many title matches here tonight on Dynamite, this is the first of many years. Dynamite, TNT,
First of many years for AEW on TNT for Dynamite. Yes, indeed. 1 year and now counting. We've had a lot of very intriguing and exciting moments in both AEW's and NXT's first full year on television. Of course, NXT's been around longer than that, though, on the WWE Network, but AEW bringing a brand new, fresh look to the world of professional wrestling this past year. A rejuvenation, if you will. Tags made. Best Friends chant from the AEW talent that's also ringside, and the fans in attendance at the Daly's Place Amphitheater. Of course, as mentioned, spaced out, socially distanced, wearing masks in Jacksonville. And they have season passes if you would like, of course, to attend socially, physically distance AEW events in northern Florida. And good old JR Jim Ross already breaks the news not even a half hour into AEW Dynamite that Alabama Crimson Tide head football coach Nick Saban has in fact tested positive for COVID-19 only now days before Alabama hosts Georgia on Saturday night in what very well could be and go down as the best SEC football game in 2020. We'll have to see if Saban will in fact coach on Saturday night or not, as the record versus former assistants would in fact be on the line, but if he's not coaching, that technically wouldn't go towards, because whoever the interim would be for the game would get credit then for the win or loss if Alabama either comes out on top or not. They had a close one last weekend on the road against Ole Miss, and another former assistant of Saban's and Lane Kiffin. But now Kirby Smart and the Dogs come in Tuscaloosa on Saturday night on CBS. Should be a very, very good game. But you know what they'll say if Alabama does in fact go down to the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs. Well, the only reason why they lost is because Nick Saban didn't coach because he tested positive for COVID-19. But that's breaking news within the past few hours or so. So we'll have to see if we can get more details on that, of course, over the next few days or so before that game kicks off Saturday night. But tonight on AEW and NXT, 2 tag team matches underway. FTR Best Friends for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and then the Undisputed Era with Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong with Kyle O'Reilly, of course, ringside banged up following the championship match against Finn Balor at TakeOver 31 this past or week and a half ago now on October the 4th. It's Fish and Strong taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, number 1 contendership tag team match to determine the new NXT tag team number 1 contenders for the titles at a later date. Of course, probably Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks. Hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE NXT. As well, when you share Clothesline, as a few tags are made, Best Friends taken out. FTR, Tully Blanchard ringside for this matchup as well. Going back to Kyle O'Reilly with NXT TakeOver 31, of course, Finn Balor banged up in that match too. He had surgery for a broken jaw this past week, and seems like he'll be on the shelf for the time being, but they might not though. We'll see. That's what I said earlier, if they make an announcement tonight or not. Relinquishing the title from him, but it'd be a very few bad months the past almost 3 months now for NXT, if in fact they do go that route, with Karrion Kross, of course, defeating Keith Lee and then injured in that match, separated shoulder, hasn't returned yet. Finn Balor now hurt after the fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match to determine the number 1, or to determine the new champion. That ended up in a tie. Finn Balor, Adam Cole then a week later on NXT Super Tuesday last month for the championship. Finn Balor, of course, won. Now he's injured after he beat Kyle O'Reilly, so we'll see what the future holds for both AEW and NXT for that matter. And a headbutt on the reversal by mistake. FTR taking out each other. Here comes Best Friends with a quick roll up middle of the ring, cover 1 and 2, and a kick out. Another tag made. Here comes Trent, as he is legal for Best Friends, up against Cash Wheeler of FTR. And a running knee from Trent Beretta, cover 1, 2, and a kick out. Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch in control of Fish and Strong. A few uppercuts after a headlock. Tag made. Here comes Roddy.
Everything level set here, and right now, best friends winning themselves quite well in this World Tag Team Championship match.
We were in dire straits here.
Well, maybe just make the Explorer edge and try to pull him up.
Could be. Dire straits. Not even nothing particularly great.
Right. Maybe just play
Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, with a big road win earlier this year, along with Coastal Carolina too, as they both went to Big 12 schools and defeated Iowa State and Kansas respectively. Now tied up at 7 apiece down in the Bayou. Both teams at 3-0, and we got some Sun Belt action on a Wednesday night here in mid-October. Power bomb from FTR. And a cover. 1, 2. Best friends with the kick out. Suplex from Dax Harwood. 1, 2, another kick out. In the meantime, NXT goes to a split screen commercial. So we'll get back to the action from Orlando shortly as this #1 contendership tag team match continues with Strong Fish and Danny Burch and Eddie Larkin.
What I think was more frustration than anything else. And Tony, one of the intangibles is that best friends who they've known.
Still to come on AEW though, they advertise down the bottom left-hand corner with a graphic for the TNT title, Cody and Orange Cassidy. Cody with his dark hair once again returning from a so-called, in quotes, injury. Of course, filming some content. Brody Lee became TNT champion the same night as NXT TakeOver 30 SummerSlam weekend, held the title up until just recently in that dog collar match that Cody and Brody had on AEW Dynamite before Cody recaptured the title, now facing off against Orange Cassidy later on tonight. DDT off the ropes from FDR. Trent with a DDT of his own now. DDT from FTR once again, back and forth with the DDTs. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5 once again. Both Cash and Dax with a DDT apiece. Trent with the other, so when's Chucky T getting one for himself? Some best friends chants once again. And now here comes Cash off the top rope, but Chuck T with a right hand. Trent gonna go for a pile driver as we have a cover. 1, 2 before Cash breaks it up. Chuck with the drop kick off the top rope, pile driving Trent and Dax into the mat, and then covered before Cash breaking it up. And now we got Cash and Chuck T fighting ringside. We're gonna have some vertical suplexes, it looks like. Ooh, that had to hurt. Drop kick, and then Cash sent over the barricade into the crowd. We see Billy and Austin Gunn. Kip Sabian still playing on his arcade. Where's Miro at? And, oh, that's going to be a pretty penny to replace. Of course, they had that set up for Trent to go face first through the back of the arcade machine. So the Twitch tag team of Miro and Kip Sabian, as Kip was out there by himself, Penelope Ford now running backstage. They're going to have to find a new game to play. It'll be Miro and Kip later on tonight in tag team action against an unknown opponent, as mentioned. Tag team right now on NXT with Strong Fish, Roderick Strong, and Bobby Fish taking on Danny Burch and Randy Lorcan, as mentioned. Back and forth, power bomb, cover, 1, 2, and another kick out. Now FTR going after Trent. I don't know where Chuck T's at. There he is, back in the ring with a big boot. Another DDT. Trent with 2 DDTs of his own. Chuck T still hasn't picked up one, but he's going to make a tag and get in the ring now. Thought for a second there he's going to jump off the top rope, but now with a forearm and a chop. Now going to town with some right hands and chops to Dax Harwood. Ooh, that hurt. And now the titles are in the ring. Cash missed on the right hand. And now Chuck picking up Dax. Dax reversing off the ropes and a suplex. The ref moves out of the way. Cash with the title shot right to the head. Cover, 1, 2, 3. FTR retains as they defeat Best Friends, and they are still your AEW World Tag Team Champions. Good finish. Good finish. Cash got the titles. Missed on the first try. As they roll out of the ring, they're still champs. Now, post-match. Ref now raising their hands. Missed on the first shot with the title, and then off the ropes. Ref ducked a little too soon, honestly, and then Cash with a title shot right to the head of Chuck Taylor before a 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. FTR still your AEW World Tag Team Champions. It'll be FTR and the Young Bucks, you would think, at Full Gear on November the 7th. But we'll have to see if they build towards that or not. I mean, they've been teasing it, along with teasing a few other things. Best Friend's going to split up. They're going to send Orange Cassidy off on his own, and then have Trent and Chuck feud with each other. As they're going to hug it out in the middle of the ring now. So they zoom out, do the Best Friends hug. And now here comes Miro. Miro in the ring with a double clothesline to Best Friends. So Penelope Ford went and got Miro because Trent went face first into the back of the arcade, breaking that. Miro with a suplex to Chuck Taylor. Maybe this will be their tag team match. It'll be Miro and Kip Sabian versus Best Friends. Running drop kick from Kip. And Miro and Kip Sabian throwing Best Friends ringside. They still got the control board for the arcade, so that should be all fine and dandy, of course. They're actually going to take a commercial break, and it seems like up next it'll be Miro and Kip Sabian in their tag team bout versus their opponent to be named later. That we'll find out, of course, coming up following this commercial break. So we'll get back to AEW very, very shortly. Replay with the finish of Strong Fish and Birch and Lorcan, with Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong becoming new #1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team titles as they stare down Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango, as they're up in the bird's nest with the virtual audience for the WWE NXT universe. WWE's NXT's Thunderdome, now backstage for a interview. Hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE NXT. We got an update now on Finn Balor as they show some graphic images of Finn Balor getting surgery on his jaw for his broken jaw.
Maybe
We'll have to see what the
contaminated
future
with
holds for
advertising agent.
Finn Balor in the
If your
NXT
loved one were
Championship.
diagnosed with any of the cancers listed, call us for a free consultation. If you don't win, you pay nothing. 800-819-6134.
The pitch, the myth, the legend, the comfort food that started it all. The original pan from Pizza Hut, just $10.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
New to the breakfast battle, chocolatey light cereal. 24 grams of whole grains and chocolatey victory. Mikey likes it.
Look, Remo, someone out there needs help customizing their car insurance with Liberty Mutual, so they only pay for what they need. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Did you wake up craving a fresh baked biscuit topped with tender prime rib and a fried egg? How about now? The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your appetite.
Now Miro and Kip Sabian being introduced. It seems like they're going to take on Private Party. Or actually, no, that's not Private Party. Excuse me. This is some jobbing tag team.
Looking to decimate Sean Maluda there with a clothesline.
Sean Maluda and his tag team partner, whoever the hell that dude is standing in the corner, taking on Miro and Kip Sabian on AEW. John Moxley, Lance Archer for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship later on tonight as well. And Miro just manhandling, throwing around Maluda all over the place. Into the barricade ringside, now back into the ring.
Completely running through this team. And I think there's so many strong...
Big kick.
I think he may be the most powerful one, and I know...
Miro, of course, formerly known as Rusev. It's now Miro Day in All Elite Wrestling. Big right hand from Miro. And Shoddy Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what JR just said? Throwing both these competitors all over the place. Kip hasn't even been in the match yet. Rusev, Miro, just wrecking havoc on AEW tonight. Now a tag's made. Here comes Kip Sabian. Kip off the top rope. And with a frog splash. Another tag made. Here comes Miro once again. And Miro gonna crush this tag team tonight on AEW. And a very, very quick tap out on the... What do you call that in WWE again? They call it the game over now in AEW. But not the Machka kick, but the submission, the lock that he would always put his opponents in to make him tap out, which he just did, of course. Drawing a blank on what it was formerly known as, what it was formerly called in the WWE, but nonetheless, it's now the game over in AEW. So that's, of course, a reference to the Twitch tag team with Kip Sabian, as they're now cutting a promo in the middle of the ring. And the arcade machine, of course, broken during the AEW World Tag Team Championship match with FTR and Best Friends. Game over. And obviously that's a shot, too, to the game himself, the King of Kings, Triple H, if you want to go that far. But now we go backstage. Lance Archer already beating up John Moxley. Jake the Snake there as well. He's got his bag. And now we got some backstage personnel trying to break this fight up. Lance Archer attacking John Moxley before their match later on tonight. video package with Ember Moon returning. See what the future holds for her. It'll be a fatal four-way at some point, you would think. But game over after Miro and Kip Sabian picked up their tag team win tonight on Dynamite. And that match is still to come. They're still going to have that. Okay, now they finally show us the bracket for the World Title Eliminator Tournament. And Kenny Omega's in that, along with Hangman Adam Page. And as thought, where the finale will, in fact, be at AEW Full Gear on November the 7th. This tournament will begin next week on AEW. As mentioned before, it'll be Omega, as thought at least, and Hangman for the #1 contendership to determine either Moxley or now Lance Archer's AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So that tournament to determine the new #1 contender will begin now next week. We have our participants, of course. It's going to be Omega. It's going to be Hangman. We already know that. It's just we got to get to there, of course. So over the next few weeks on AEW, we'll have this tournament, and then the finals will, in fact, be on November the 7th at AEW Full Gear. That'll be on pay-per-view, of course. And the winner of that will then become the new #1 contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And you would think that Jon Moxley would still, in fact, be the champion after tonight for that feud when we get to there. But, I mean, if Lance Archer wins tonight, Lance Archer wins. But that's sort of him backstage going over before the match later on tonight. So I don't think Lance Archer is going to end up winning tonight. Moxley will retain, and then Moxley will face either my pick at least, Omega or Hangman Adam Page, as the Elite is no more for the AEW World title at a later date, of course. If they want to draw it out until early next year, I would think that they'd have that match on either AEW TV, or if in fact they're going to have another pay-per-view in between then. But at this point in time, don't know. We'll find out over the next few weeks or so. Following, of course, then Full Gear too. So another exciting time, of course, but it'll be Hangman and Omega. I'm thinking winner faces whoever wins later on tonight, and it'll be Moxley. So Moxley against Hangman, Moxley versus Omega. I've said since day one in AEW, Hangman's their future. He is the future of the company. And okay, a year and a half later, here we are. I mean, I get he was in the first ever AEW World title match against Jericho at All Out last August. Did not win, of course. Jericho won before Jericho lost to Moxley at Revolution. Moxley's held the title ever since the end of February now. It'll be time to take the title off him, of course, at some point down the road, whether it be to Lance Archer tonight, whoever wins the tournament to determine the new #1 contender. But we'll find out, of course, over time. Now some singles competition on NXT as well, along with still a tied 7-apiece ball game with Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Lafayette. MJF is better than all of us, and yes, we do in fact know that. Here comes Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, with a mic in his hand. The salt of the earth. With Wardlow is turned bodyguard, as he was once a professional wrestler. He hasn't wrestled in forever. Cut my music. MJF is one of the best heels in all pro wrestling. You still want to boo me? Yeah, a little bit. We're all envious of MJF. Well, yeah, maybe a little bit, but MJF going to take credit for AEW's success during their 1-year anniversary tonight, it sounds like. take the hatred, strap it in, and MJF's not here just to be on top, but to stay on top in the world of pro wrestling. And he'll be in this spot for years to come. As he says, 30 years, but I don't know about that. Jericho, of course, has been around for 30 years. There's no reason why he's been saying 30 plus. But now, here comes your demo god, your first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Le Champion, Chris Jericho. As we will sing along to Judas by his band, of course. Fozzy, as Jericho comes out, sporting those new Inner Circle jackets that MJF gifted them a few weeks back with the Inner Circle. Jericho and the Inner Circle now on AEW. As MJF's major announcement with Jericho and the Inner Circle right now on Dynamite. Jericho is doing his best Hogan, trying to get the crowd pumped up, along with telling them to sing it a little bit louder. But MJF not having any of it. And now Sammy has his own jacket. MJF forgot about Sammy Guevara, but now all the Inner Circle, they have MJF's gifted jackets. Jericho telling him to put it on. It's going to be way too big for him. It's like 10 sizes too big. Jericho yelling at him, put it on. Put it on, Chance. Put it on. Put it on. Put it on. Wow. He looks like a little kid that just put on his mom or dad's extra large jacket. We're going to talk about Jericho's body now. Looks like Popeye the Sailor. Talk about his hair, all right. Yeah, not me, MJF. Jericho, myself, Troy Paul Malu, along with a lot of other pro wrestling greats with luscious locks. And MJF is going to get to touch Chris Jericho's hair on Dynamite. And he touches it a little bit. Jericho, no. We're not out here to touch my hair. We're here to see and hear what your major announcement is. So what is MJF's major announcement that's going to shock the world? MJF trying to distract himself from not having to announce that he's either going to join the Inner Circle or he won't. He's going to attack Jericho, you would think, right now. They're face to face, eye to eye, nose to nose, and toes to mother effing toes. Jericho's the demo god. And MJF is the Reigns roller. Crickets. Jericho's been on the top of his game for 30 years. And yeah, no, they haven't. They've never gotten physical, so now's the time. And Jericho will put over MJF in the process. We don't watch Animal Planet now. Jericho hates Animal Planet. It's not under the Turner umbrella. Let's relax a little bit. Two piranhas now. And Jericho and MJF, mutual respect for each other, you would think at least. And MJF calling himself and Jericho predators. Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano coming up next on NXT. Jericho and MJF going to have to adapt. It is 2020.
What are you getting at? What I'm getting at, Chris, is I would like to jog. I'd like to take a jog. You're blowing it, Max. Get it together, swallow your pride. Okay?
Maxwell, Jacob Friedman telling himself to get it together and swallow his pride. He wants to get his smile back. He's teasing, not saying joining the inner circle. Jacob Friedman might want to join the inner circle. Might want to join the inner circle. That's a big might. A very big might.
So what you're saying is you kind of sort of want to possibly almost maybe consider to perhaps join the inner circle? Whoa, Chris, let's not start rumors, okay?
Let's not start rumors. And Santana Ortiz take the mic out of MJF's hand. Jerk Jericho's chain. We don't want you in the inner circle, says Santana Ortiz. Jericho says, oh, hold on. We're family. We're going to make the decision together.
Before we let you know, but I will say this. How about next week?
Next week on AEW?
Meet up one-on-one for a steak dinner.
And next week now on AEW, it'll be Jericho and MJF for a steak dinner.
So let this straight, Chris. You want to eat steak?
You want to eat steak with me? I've never wanted anything more. You want to have a steak dinner? You're on. And they shake on it next week on AEW. Jericho and MJF will have a steak dinner. And Jericho says, I'll see you next week at the restaurant. So we'll have to see where that will take place at, of course. But it'll be Jericho and MJF next week on AEW Dynamite at a restaurant of their choosing, I would think, having a steak dinner. I wonder if a little bit of the bubbly will be the drink of choice. And Tony Schiavone, along with Britt Baker, backstage, getting massages together while he's interviewing her. And this, honestly, not something I don't think anybody would like to see right now. But now Reba with the
Rule number 5.
roles of Britt Baker
The legendary Jim Ross. Be the baddest bitch on the block.
and Britt Baker calling herself the baddest bitch on the block. And Britt Baker can't believe what she just witnessed. Tony Schiavone also getting a massage next to her. She did not know that. And in the meantime, he was interviewing her. And now he's going to get his chest waxed. And of course, they're not actually waxing his chest. He's not screaming that loud.
You're one of Dynamite's featured
Now they're getting
anniversary.
Manny and Petties,
Conspiracies, broken nose, broken leg, nothing.
Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker. Honestly, has to be one of the that she tells them to cover up.
You make sure you have the most epic.
Has to be one of the best things going in all of AEW right now. As they sort of gotten away from it as of late, but now starting to bring it back. Because Britt Baker really has been around since All Out. Since she lost the tooth and nail match against Big Swole at AEW All Out last month. And now Big Swole against Sheeta for the AEW Women's Championship tonight.
Be a professional and fix those nasty teeth.
Well, the molars were kind of,
But back to my epic.
Now he talks about his teeth. But now next week on AEW as well, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She will be in action on AEW next week. However, right now, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy going to take on Cody Rhodes for the TNT title. So a few big announcements for next week's AEW. It'll be Punk's Tony Phil's best friend and Britt Baker. She'll be in action along with Jericho and MJF having a steak dinner. And we'll hit a split screen commercial before we get Cody Rhodes and Orange Cassidy for the TNT Championship.
And their kids. Become a member. Get an insurance quote today. We live in
Now some moments from the past year in AEW.
We're here to deliver your cards.
List is way too long. I mean, all the talent that they have, all the
Is on its way.
cities that they've gone to, all the different type of segments and matches, and even new superstars being introduced as of late once again. The building of AEW.
Can you go play Bill here?
Just seeing some of these highlights, I tell you what, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been a year, but it's been a little over a year now. But it all started
I'm serious.
January the 1st, 2019.
Frito-Lay variety packs, packed with possibilities.
Before they hosted Double or Nothing,
A window of time to help protect the ones you love. Your
and then All Out a year after All In,
well visits. This is your window of protection.
and that was after
Schedule their well visit now.
Dave Meltzer said
when you get in,
they won't ever be able to sell out an arena. And they sold out 10,000 plus in a matter of minutes
maybe too much value.
for All In before AEW was then formed months later. And it's been a very, very long road to get to this point now, of course. But it's been an exciting one at that. It's just very hard to believe that it's been a little over a year, going on 2 years, honestly. A little over 2 years now since All In, before AEW was formed, of course. But the building of this company has been awesome to a T. They have changed the world of pro wrestling to its core
We're getting married by the phone.
for the better. at that. Because the more pro wrestling there is, the better everything around it becomes. So AEW and NXT this evening. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share. Hashtag AEW. Hashtag WWE NXT. Chat questions and comments. Super chats. Super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. Wrestling has more than one royal family. It's the Rhodes along with the McMahons. Here comes Cody Rhodes with his new entrance. Still the same theme song, but they've changed up the colors. No more green and yellow and a black tint. Now the American Nightmare is back. And it seems like he's dyed his hair once again. No more dark hair Cody Rhodes. He's back to the blonde look. And he's got the red and black American Nightmare Titantron for his entrance. And he's dyed his hair once again. Cody Rhodes is blonde once again. Make up your damn mind on what your hair color is going to be, for God's sakes. So, Cody Rhodes and the Nightmare family. The coach himself, the enforcer, Double A Arn Anderson, with Cody's wife and Eden Styles, Brandy Rhodes, Justin Roberts, your ring announcer. It'll be Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT title right now on AEW Dynamite. Darby Allin, along with a few other superstars, looking on from up above. So if Cody retains, you would think Darby Allin's going to be a number one contender. Of some sorts, at least. Maybe somebody else. We'll see. Orange Cassidy from wherever, weighing whatever, going to challenge Cody for the TNT title. Bell rings, match underway. It's Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT Championship and All Elite Wrestling. Cody running circles around Freshly Squeezed, who's just standing in the middle of the ring. And Cody goes after him, and Orange Cassidy ducks and moves out of the way. Very subtle. Gives him a look, headbutt. Head nod, I should say. Hey, you ready to go? Let's do this. Let's lock up. And Orange Cassidy gonna put his hands in his pockets. Cody telling the ref, hey, back off. Cody then shoves him right in the chest. And Orange Cassidy's sunglasses fell off. He's going to kick him to the curb. And now they're going to go. They lock up now, finally, for real. Cody and Orange Cassidy in singles competition for the AEW Tnt Championship. The American Nightmare, the Prince of Pro Wrestling, as he calls himself now, Cody Rhodes, taking on Freshly Squeezed. You're just now tuning in. They're going to lock up once again, middle of the ring. And Orange Cassidy once again going to put his hand in his pockets. No, he slaps Cody on the chest very lightly. And then Cody from behind with a suplex. Nice takedown there. Cody with another takedown to Orange Cassidy. Cody, of course, formerly known as Stardust as well in the WWE. His hair color has been either a blonde or a dark brown, a black color. Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pockets once again, rolls up and then kicks Cody Rhodes. And now we got Cody putting him in a headlock. Nice takedown there. Cody was originally committed to wrestle for Penn State, but was, of course, signed to the WWE and had his WWE run before, of course, leaving the company and hitting the independent scene. Before, of course, starting up AEW with the Young Bucks along with Kenny Omega and company before, of course, signing Chris Jericho, who was honestly their first big signing. As we look back now on the 1 year plus run of AEW. Orange Cassidy with a quick roll-up, kick out at 2 by Cody. Both AEW and the WWE as a whole, still in my opinion, they need to figure out the women's division. The best thing AEW has going for the women's division is Britt Baker right now with Tony Schiavone. They did have Thunder Rosa for a short time. She hasn't been on television, though, the past few weeks, so don't know what's up with that. But then for the WWE, right now NXT with the women's division with the return of Ember Moon and Toni Storm, that's getting a little bit better. You have, of course, as we hit a split screen commercial for AEW during this TNT title match, Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley, Ember Moon and Toni Storm as mentioned. But then you have Bayley and Sasha Banks is the only thing going good up on the main roster for the women in pro wrestling. And we'll get that, of course, at Hell in a Cell a week from Sunday, and I'll have live reactions play of WWE Hell in a Cell and WWE NXT Halloween Havoc along with AEW. So be sure to tune back in for more live reactions play live right here on YouTube. Up next, though, a #1 contender match with Shotzi Blackheart and Candice LeRae. The winner will face Io Shirai in 2 weeks' time at NXT Halloween Havoc. We just saw Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory do battle on NXT as well. So now a double commercial break once again with AEW and NXT.
you believe in. You strive for a better tomorrow.
And some breaking news. On November the 3rd, Teddy Long will host a tag team match with Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris.
I didn't know we were having dinner tonight. You are. Dandruff, Carl and I go everywhere together. Keep Dandruff from ruining date night. Carl, how could you? Selsun Blue helps eliminate annoying kitchen flares. You didn't know how bad you wanted prime rib, char-broiled Angus beef, and melted cheddar cheese sauce, but now you do. The new prime rib and cheddar Angus stick burger at Carl's Jr. and Arby's. Feed your happiness.
What about us taking an adventure?
There is something down here.
Where are you going?
We're back live here on TNT. Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Follow along in picture, why wouldn't you? You saw that Cody maintained a significant advantage in that match and has really asserted himself after what seemed to be a lull in getting beat to the punch by Orange Cassidy, the challenger for title.
Cody coming off with a double sledge again. Cassidy able to take a step back and just trying to.
Listen, Cody's got a temper and he's just trying to get into that.
So Cassidy employed these tactics against Chris Jericho, but Cody having any of it.
Not today's. Cody's not going to play, but neither is Orange.
Thrust kick by Cassidy. Sideways Celestina driving Cody into the barricades at ringside.
Cody out amongst them out here.
We see Dark Order right there. Mr. Brody Lee now in attendance tonight.
No Jordan Anderson right there to make sure that no foul play goes down out here.
John Silver. John Silver's just crowned the TNT Championship.
We're back from commercial. We got the TNT title match underway with Cody Rhodes and Orange Cassidy. And we were just in the middle of the ring, Orange Cassidy doing his kicks that he does to his opponent's legs very lightly, of course, before Cody reversing, fighting ringside. In the meantime, though, as Orange Cassidy holds the TNT title, he's going to hand it back to Arn Anderson, the Nightmare Family. We just had the Dark Order come out and try to interfere in this match before the ref threw him out. So now Orange Cassidy from the top rope. Nice crossbody, but Cody going to roll through. Picks up Orange Cassidy. Going to go for a crossroads in the middle of the ring. Orange Cassidy, quick roll up though. 1, 2, kick out at 2.5 by Cody Rhodes. Cody going to go for a DDT. Vertical suplex now. Before a stunner of some sorts on a reversal from Freshly Squeezed. Cody now off the ropes. And then hit a stunner of his own. As both superstars are now down and out in the middle of the ring. Shotzi Blackheart coming out in her tank. It's already decked out for Halloween. It'll be Shotzi and Candice LeRae. Winner going to face Io Shirai in 2 weeks at Halloween Havoc. You would think Shotzi's going to win this and then end up losing to Io Shirai at Halloween Havoc because Shotzi's, in quotes, supposed to be hosting Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks. As that pay-per-view returns for the first time in 20 years. And now we got some rights and lefts along with kicks back and forth from Cody and Orange Cassidy. Drop kick from Rhodes. 14-7 Coastal Carolina on top of Louisiana Lafayette as we near halftime now. Wednesday night college football. We got football and wrestling now on literally every day of the week. Darby Allin still looking on from above. It's Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. Arn Anderson giving some headers ringside. And at AEW Full Gear, all right, they give us the update here. Breaking news, Darby Allin will face the TNT champion at Full Gear for the TNT championship. So a few matches and segments shaping up pretty good, pretty well right now for Full Gear on the 7th of November. 1-2, a kick out by Orange Cassidy. Match continues. Cody defending his TNT title. Now starting to rip off some of that Kenzo tape that he has on his shoulders. Now we got a little bit of delay. Cody and Orange Cassidy taking their good old time. Touchdown as well in the meantime. Louisiana Lafayette now an extra point away from tying this game back up at 14 apiece. Lafayette went to Iowa State, beat Cyclones. I believe the same weekend. Coastal Carolina also went to Kansas and beat the Jayhawks within the past month, well, ever since the season began, of course. Cody doing some push-ups in the middle of the ring. They go back to Darby Allin as he continues to look on. He's now going to face whoever the TNT champion is at Full Gear for the title. Still to come later on tonight, John Moxley and Lance Archer, along with Sheeta and Big Swole, in 2 championship matches as well, as AEW Dynamite's 1-year anniversary show sort of turned into a Clash Night of Champions pay-per-view with all championships, of course, on the line. However, no FTW title by any means as of yet, unless they add in Taz with Brian Cage and Ricky Starks later on, but I don't see that happening at this point in time, but you never know. Cody now off the top rope. Cody now going to go for a cover. 1, 2, and Orange Cassidy kicks out. Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart, winner going to face Io Shirai, Halloween Havoc for the NXT Women's title. Still got Damian Priest and Dexter Lumis to come for the NXT North American title tonight on NXT. Orange Cassidy reversing in the corner as Cody was ringside, had his legs wrapped around the steel post, but then Cassidy reversed. Cody face first then into the steel post before getting back in the ring. Orange Cassidy now off the top rope. Gonna hit a DDT. Orange Cassidy with a cover on Cody. 1, 2, another kick out at 2.5. Orange Cassidy trying to pick up Cody Rhodes, can't. Trying to pick him up again, this time he does, throws him down. 1, 2, another kick out by Cody. And we got a few minutes remaining, as this, of course, is a time limit match, as AEW has brought that aspect back into pro wrestling since their debut. It's either a 10 or a 20-minute or an unlimited time match. Of course, with TV time remaining, though, too, as that's happened a few times. Actually, happened, I do believe, the one AEW show I actually attended, and videos from that event that's coming up on a year ago now, at the end of next week, live right here on the channel, so be sure to go check out those videos. Cody and Orange Cassidy now in the figure 4, trying to reverse it and then roll through once again. It's Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. Other professional wrestling event videos from WWE Monday Night Raw, WWE NXT, WWE Friday Night SmackDown, along with AEW Dynamite, right here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to go check those out. Now they're just rolling back and forth in the middle of the ring as they have the submission locked in on one another as the figure 4 is locked in. Now they're underneath the bottom rope break. They're going to have to get out of that. They do. Now they're on the ring apron. And a pile driver from Orange Cassidy right to the back of the neck of Cody Rhodes. That had to hurt. Three count now from the official. Orange Cassidy gonna have to get Cody back in the ring though to win this match and become your new TNT champion. Arn Anderson gonna call a timeout. He is the enforcer himself. He's the coach of the Nightmare Family. He's calling a timeout, but the ref says no, not now. Orange Cassidy rolling Cody back in the ring. Orange Cassidy now with a cover. 1, 2, and Cody reverses it. Quick roll up. 1, 2, another kick out. Double clothesline. And they both stand still. And the orange punch misses before he hits a DDT. Kip up from Orange Cassidy. And the time limit's going to run out on this match is what's going to happen. He's going to pick Cody up once again. Nice driver. 1, 2. Kick out at 2.5 by Cody Rhodes. Freshly squeezed Chance. He's going to go for the orange punch. He falls down though. Cody capitalizes. However, Orange Cassidy, quick roll up. 1, 2, and the bell rings right before the 3 count as time has expired. Cody going to hold on and retain. Cody Rhodes still your TNT champion. Good match, good finish. As they, for the first time in quite a while, got the time limit involved. And of course it came down right to the final second. But Cody retains. He'll now face Darby Allin at AEW Full Gear for the TNT Championship. Very, very good match and a very, very unique, unexpected finish. But a good finish at that, and then they go very quick to Alex Marvez backstage with Lance Archer and his advocate and Jake the Snake Roberts. And then John Moxley attacking from behind as Archer attacked him earlier backstage. So now they're fighting back and forth before being broken up. And then Lance Archer with the right hand of one of the security guards. It'll be Moxley and Lance Archer for the AEW World title later on. And now we're going to go back to Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone with Matt Hardy and the Hardy family. Matt Hardy back on AEW. How you doing? Matt Hardy, practically perfect. That's how he's feeling.
What an amazing event! Tony, I am so proud of AEW. I'm so proud of everybody who works here. And I'm very happy to say that as of tonight, I am 100% healthy.
Matt Hardy is 100% healthy. And now we got somebody walking on the, and this person's in a hoodie. Can't tell who it is, but this person's in a video package walking backstage. And now looking at Matt Hardy pictures before he busts out a lighter and catches fire to the Matt Hardy pictures. So who's going to be this mystery person that's going to be coming after Matt Hardy? It's Sammy Guevara. And now Sammy Guevara cutting a promo. Who attacked Matt Hardy? It was me. This goes back to All Out. They had a match in which Hardy got injured in and hasn't been cleared to compete since, but now he's back. This is not over until Sammy Guevara sends Matt Hardy home for good. What does Matt have to say about that? Did you know about that? No. We're glad you are back though, Matt Hardy.
And obviously, I know what my first choice of business is, and it's Sammy Guevara.
Matt Hardy's first choice, his first option is to go after Sammy Guevara. So it'll be Hardy and Guevara in a feud over the next few weeks or so, leading into Full Gear, where they'll probably have a match against one another. Commercial break for AEW. Candice LeRae and Shotzi Blackheart, their match continues. Winner will face Io Shirai in 2 weeks for the NXT Women's title at Halloween Havoc.
Mikey likes it.
What if you could buy online at Discount Tire, book your appointment, get expedited shipping, and be placed at the front of the line when you get to the store? So simple, it's genius. Save time. Find out more at discounttire.com.
The misery index is back.
You see your mom on an iPad screen.
Hey, my mom, I'm so you got another thing coming.
The stars of Impractical Jokers join host Jamila Jamil in all new episodes of The Misery Index, Tuesday at 10:30 on TBS. Oops, I did it again. In a crazy world, you need cozy TV.
You better watch your breaker.
Now on Dish Channel 253.
The CMT Music Awards is bringing the country's best night out. Featuring electrifying performances by Kane Brown, Ashley McBride, Marriage to Keep the Music Alive. It's sure to be us. The CMT Music Awards Wednesday.
FTR coming up at Full Gear. We will, as you can see, all the teams.
Now we got Tony Schiavone in the ring,
Which 4 teams will pull here out?
and it seems like
And the first team is Private Party.
we're going to have a tournament as well.
Come on down here, part of the 4 tag team match next week. Let's get the next
Or a
match.
4-man, 4 tag team match
Go ahead, Paul.
next week on AEW to determine the new #1 contenders for FTR's World Tag Team Championships. So, FTR in the ring with Tully Blanchard. We got Private Party along with the Dark Order now as well.
Okay, we got it. You're
And Butcher and Blade, all the AEW tag teams are at the top of the entrance. They're on the stage, too, I might add. Okay, so they got the casino wheel in the middle. They're spinning that. And it'll be the Young Bucks as the fourth and final tag team. So next week on AEW now, Private Party, Dark Order, Butcher and Blade, and the Young Bucks. Winners will face FTR at Full Gear for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And it's going to be FTR and the Young Bucks. You already know it.
You relax too, Tony. We're not here to super kick you, okay?
We're here to super kick everybody else.
To super kick these guys.
To these guys. Dark Order, Butcher and Blade, and then they throw the wheel out of the ring that they are, of course, spinning to pull out names to determine who's going to be in this fatal four-way. So luck of draw. And as FTR looks on from at the top of the entrance, we got the Young Bucks along with Butcher and Blade, the Dark Order, and Private Party going at it in the middle of the ring. And we got Young Bucks and Private Party left standing. Young Bucks are going to win next week. It'll be a fatal four-way tag team #1 contendership match where the winner will face FTR for the AEW World Tag Team titles at Full Gear on November the 7th. So AEW next week shaping up to be a good show as well. Super kicks to Private Party now too. As the Young Bucks stare down FTR, that's going to be your championship match at Full Gear for the tag team titles. They've been teasing this since FTR came to AEW over the summer, and now we're finally going to get it. And with arguably two of the best tag teams in all pro wrestling, we'll have them square off in the squared circle for championship gold. Now back to JR and Excalibur on commentary. Sheeta and Big Swole still to come. AEW Women's Championship, along with John Moxley and Lance Archer for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Sorry for any technical difficulties this evening. Once again, as well with the buffer, the disconnect, and the reconnect. I know I just did that a short time ago, but we had another commercial break on AEW, as we have one currently on NXT too. So we'll get back to the action on both AEW and WWE NXT momentarily. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE NXT. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated.
You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? They are over there.
The man, the myth, the legend, the comfort food that started it all. The original pan from Pizza Hut, just $10.99. No wonder now pizza's the hut.
This is time that matters. A window of time to help protect the ones you love. Your preteen benefits from staying up to date with their well visits. This is your window of protection. Schedule their well visit now.
What if I sleep calm?
Or cold.
Introducing the new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. Now temperature balancing, so you can sleep better together.
Can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. Can it help with snoring?
I've never heard snoring.
Exactly. No problem. And done. Really promise better sleep. Not promise. True. Save up to $1,000 on the new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed and adjustable base. Plus 0% interest for 24 months on all smart beds. Only for a limited time.
Feed your happiness.
Which one of you ate all the flaming hot Cheeto snacks?
We won't be mad. We just want to know the truth.
You're really doing this one?
I bet we were robbed. It's a Cheetos thing.
Glenn, come on.
Let's get here.
Let's get miserable.
Woman's headache cannot be brainly.
People who do Pilates deserve that. That's what you're saying? The stars of impractical jokers.
So these people were on a bus?
Unfortunate for everyone involved. And close to Mila Jamil.
The car being dragged. Is this the worst toe job we've ever seen?
Let's start with the basics. This scenario, not common. The Misery Index. All new Tuesday at 10:30 on TBS.
AEW Women's Championship match has a 60-minute time limit with only 35 minutes of TV time remaining. Plus John Moxley and Lance Archer still to come. What the hell's up with that? So Sheeta and Big Swole for the AEW Women's Championship.
Sheeta just stepped on the back of the cat that time, stepped on the cat, pushing Big Swole down. Swole was in the side headlock, but instead transitions into a top wrist lock. Bringing Swole down over her knee, or bringing Sheeta down over Swole's knee. Sheeta sweeps out the leg, but Swole still in control of that arm. Sheeta floating over, grabbing that third base lock, getting her first movement. So we're seeing some nice chain wrestling here by both these athletes. We have a lot of great fundamental wrestling athletes in the women's division. We see Swole with Britt Baker for all of her luster is a fundamentally great wrestler.
Two women's matches now currently going on side by side on both AEW and NXT. Sheeta and Big Swole, along with Toni Storm returning to the ring in WWE NXT. Suplex from her. Toni Storm, a former NXT UK Women's Champion, has been on the shelf for most of the year. It's a power bomb cover 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm, your winner on NXT. And now the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match with Moxley and Archer has turned into a no disqualification championship match. Toni Storm celebrating her win as we go back to William Regal, now backstage.
Made for him, a veteran who honorably served, and it's made for her. She's serving now. We also make USAA for military spouses and their kids. Become a member. Get an insurance quote today.
Addie K. Hoover reviewed the Popeye's chicken sandwich, and it was pure joy.
William Regal is interrupted by, I believe that's Zia Lee, if I'm not mistaken.
In a stressful market, it's good to know you're not alone. Stay focused on your long-term goals with personal financial advice from an advisor who understands you.
As she's now having a conversation with Regal backstage. Don't know who her, whether he's a bodyguard or a lawyer or whoever the hell that was, or whatever the hell that segment was supposed to be. Didn't work out by any means. Up next, though, they add in a tag team match. This is a filler. It'll be Killian, Dane, and Drake Maverick versus Imperium coming up next on WWE NXT. However, we will, in fact, continue to light it up like Dynamite on AEW Dynamite. Of course, don't own that song or any other audio other than me speaking, of course. So just want to make sure that's known. Don't own anything else you hear in the background by any means, unless it's dogs or cats meowing, of course. But don't own any audio other than my voice and my thoughts and opinions with my live reactions and play-by-play. So we'll get back. Well, it is a split-screen commercial right now, but we'll get back and continue to light it up like Dynamite on AEW Dynamite, hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag WWE NXT when you share on social media. And keep those chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well.
You ready for this? This is gold standard. Wherever you are in the world, that's where I belong. The television premiere of Crazy Rich Asians, Sunday at 8 on TNT.
Sheeta and Big Swole for the AEW Women's Championship. I'm not going to be shocked if they put the title on Big Swole, honestly, because then she has history with Britt Baker, and it seems like they're going to try to at least push Britt Baker back to the top of the AEW Women's division, and then potentially get Big Swole Britt Baker for the AEW Women's title, maybe at Full Gear some other point down the road. Big Swole with a botch. Completely falls on her ass. Subscribe on YouTube, they say. Be sure to subscribe right here on YouTube as well. So like, follow, and subscribe as always. Links in the description below. And both Sheeta and Big Swole just went almost through. Didn't break by any means. And then a diamond cutter off the middle rope, cover 1, 2, 3. Nope, kick out at 2.5 in the middle of the ring. Match continues. But they almost went through the, of course, they didn't have it set this way like they did with Cody and Brody. Or that was Moxley and Brody, excuse me, at AEW for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Moxley, Lance Archer, no DQ now, coming up next in the main event of the night for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. The walkway, the ramp in between the steps of the entrance and the ring, they landed on that and almost went through it. Suplex in the middle of the ring, kick out at 2. Off the ropes goes Shida with a knee right to the back of the head. Good power slam, 1, 2, and Big Swole gonna kick out. Now on NXT, we got Killian, Dane, and Drake Maverick as a tag team taking on Imperium, and then Damian Priest along with Dexter Lumis for the NXT North American title. 1, 2, and then Shida grabs the bottom rope for a rope break. Clothesline, no. Quick roll up, nope. Right hand, that connected, yes. Off the ropes. Another knee to the back of the head from Shida. And then a Kinshasa of her own. 1, 2, 3. Shida retains and defeats Big Swole, as she is still your AEW Women's Champion. Coming up next, in the main event of the evening, it'll be Jon Moxley. As Nyla Rose looks on to Shida, they're going to tease that once again. It'll be Jon Moxley and Lance Archer for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Now no disqualification. The co-main event on NXT, it'll be, as mentioned, Drake and Killian, Drake Maverick, Killian Dane taking on Imperium before their main event later on tonight. Still to come with Damian Priest and Dexter Lumis. Next week on AEW, a number 1 contender 4-way tag team match. The winner will then face FTR at Full Gear. The World Title Eliminator tournament will also begin next week as well. Look for Omega and Hangman Adam Page to get to the finals of that before facing off at Full Gear. Jericho and MJF. La Dinner. What does that say? Okay, and we're going to have another rematch with Cody and Orange Cassidy due to the finish earlier tonight. It'll be Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT Championship once again in 2 weeks, as they'll be head-to-head with WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. But your Demo God Le Champion will have a Le Dinner. I didn't catch the last word of that phrase, as they're calling it, for the steak dinner next week with Jericho and MJF, as Eddie Kingston joins the commentating team. And now we go back to last week, I do believe this was. Shawn Spears, Ty Dillinger, backstage as we had SCU go into the ring. Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian. And for some reason, Tully Blanchard is still managing Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears cannot tolerate a thief. He honestly hasn't done anything big in AEW, unfortunately, since last summer, when he was with Cody in a feud, and he busted Cody open with that steel chair shot that had everyone talking. So Eddie Kingston on commentary now with JR, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. Lucha Brothers alongside as well. However, up next on AEW, now a no disqualification AEW World Heavyweight Championship match with Jon Moxley defending against Lance Archer. Jake the Snake Roberts will in fact be ringside.
Binge the entire first season on demand and on the TNT app. And get ready for the new season coming January 25th on TNT.
This right here is the papadilla, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Latin for better than a sandwich. Even has a better pickle. Papadilla for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Doing what we love can be painful. Introducing Aspartame with essential oil. Now calming lavender oil is combined with fast-acting lidocaine for lasting relief. New Aspartame with essential oil.
It seems so unfair that the person who helped you create most of your best memories is now struggling to hold on to theirs. And it's up to you to find the best senior living care for them. But you don't have to do it alone. A Place for Mom is a free service whose advisors know memory loss and senior living care. With years of experience and local knowledge, they'll help find an answer that works for you and your loved one. Help is a call away at A Place for Mom, your senior living experts.
You would think living together in the Fox Sports bubble has been tough, but thanks to the Dish Anywhere app, we can watch our games and do everything together. Lemon? Sure. Exclamation point. It's my turn to watch the big screen.
Have a second screen 20 room with the Dish Anywhere app and watch Fox Sports for the best NFL and college football.
You didn't know how bad you wanted prime rib, char-broiled Angus beef, and melted cheddar cheese sauce, but now you do. The new prime rib and cheddar Angus stick burger at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happiness.
Another bundle in the books.
Killian, Dane, Drake Maverick, Imperium tag team match done and over with. Main events now about to kick off. It'll be Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, Damian Priest, Dexter Lumis as Everrise now attacking Drake Maverick.
Welcome to the Quaker Breakfast Table, where new normals are...
And then Killian, Dane with a double clothesline taking out them,
Simple whole grains are
saving Maverick from an attack.
life by the spoon or cup, and nourish it.
But Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, no DQ, AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest, Dexter Lumis, NXT North American Championship match. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Here comes Lance Archer. And Lance Archer throwing... Who the hell is that? He's got a little bit of a different entrance. He still comes out of the one side. He's got a full-grown Lemmy beard with the chin shaved, but every other part of his face has hair on it now. Don't know technically what they call that type of beard, but Jon Moxley with a full beard, regardless of the situation. Coming out, still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, walking down to the ring now. About ready to defend his title in a no disqualification match. Archer also came out with a army helmet on, it looked like. Sort of what Shotzi Blackheart wears to the ring. And Justin Roberts trying to make an announcement, but they're not going to waste any time. They're going right at it. Bell rings, 1, 2, kick out at 2.5 after a DDT from Jon Moxley. And this AEW World Heavyweight Championship no disqualification match is now underway. But they had Archer come out, like break through glass through the entrance. Another DDT, no, Archer going to drive Moxley through the ropes now ringside. And now into the barricade. Archer with a few kicks. Archer throwing in the barricade a little more as they're fighting ringside. I mean, they're high on Lance Archer tonight, it seems like, having him attack Moxley backstage. Moxley then attacking him backstage. Match turns into no DQ. And then Archer with a extra part to his entrance tonight with breaking through glass, it seemed like. He's got a little bit of a new look. He's grown out his beard, as mentioned, and then he was wearing sort of an army helmet during his entrance as well, adding to his character with Jake the Snake Roberts, as mentioned, still ringside. As we do have fans in attendance, are starting to fight into the crowd a little bit. But it's Jon Moxley and Lance Archer for the AEW World Title. Headbutt off the ring apron. Excalibur plugging the #1 contender world title Eliminator tournament, where the winner of that will face the world champion for the championship. The final of that will be at Full Gear, as they announce Full Gear will be Saturday, November the 7th. And as mentioned earlier, that card, that pay-per-view, shaping up as we inch closer. Lance Archer now from the corner. Moxley reversing with a clothesline, but Lance Archer doesn't move an inch. Now a right hand. Another right hand. Now a double Archer with shoulder tackles. They both went off the ropes at the same time. And Moxley now sent ringside. Cannonball from Lance Archer off the ring apron. At Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks, it'll be Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez in singles competition, they announced. So WWE NXT Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks. We hit a split screen commercial for AEW Dynamite. Also, the NXT Women's Championship will in fact be Io Shirai and Candice LeRae once again. That'll be at Halloween Havoc as well in 2 weeks' time. NXT Women's title on the line. Io Shirai defending against Candice LeRae. However, next week, it'll be Breezango taking on Strongfish, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong in the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships. That'll be next week.
Which looks better, this or this? This or this?
Live Forever. Here comes Damian Priest. He'll defend against Dexter Lumis. Damian Priest, Dexter Lumis, NXT North American Championship match. No DQ AEW World Heavyweight Title match continues. Split screen as Lance Archer gets a few tables now set up ringside.
When you get any medium or large drink from Taco Bell, you may find yourself with so much power. Maybe too much power. And for a chance to win the all-new Xbox Series X only at Taco Bell.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker.
Lance Archer with a big kick.
Surprisingly great rates.
Yes, right. Pepperoni pockets, an atomic brownie, cuckoo crusty,
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
and a side orange. You're the man, man.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Introducing sliced
Punishment
steaks.
Martinez, Damian Priest making his entrance.
Italian cheese sticks.
Going to take on
Expected as the census.
one of the most underrated superstars right now in NXT, in my opinion, Dexter Lumis, who actually was supposed to be in the NXT North American Championship ladder match at TakeOver 30, but however got injured shortly before and was pulled, and just recently made a return. So as mentioned, NXT as of late been hit by the injury bug, but Dexter Lumis now back, going to face off against Damian Priest for that NXT North American title, in which he won at TakeOver 30 in that ladder match. This also should be a very, very interesting match, to say the least. With you would think both champions in both of these matches retaining, but hey, you never know. That's why they end up having the matches, and of course, yeah, it's already settled and finalized before they go out with a clear-cut winner. But hopefully they put on a good wrestling match, and I mean, if we have a title change, we have a title change, and either AEW or NXT tonight, and the main events for the AEW World Championship and the NXT North American Championship. So there's two tables now set up ringside. They're side by side, not stacked. They're side by side, ringside. Moxley now up on the corner, up on the top rope. Archer stands up, catches him, about ready to pick him up by the neck, but then Moxley gets behind him, going to go for a suplex with an elbow on the reversal. Now we got some rights and lefts with the forearms back and forth. Archer with a takedown on John Moxley. And now Damian Priest along with Dexter Lumis underway now too. Eddie Kingston on commentary, just because, one, he's damn good on the mic, but then two, this goes into, as they go off the ropes at the same time once again, but then no shoulder tackle this time around from Lance Archer. Moxley ends up hitting a suplex then off the ropes too, but this goes back to All Out, the Casino Battle Royale, in which Eddie Kingston said he never lost, which technically he didn't. Lance Archer won the match, got a future championship opportunity, of course, now tonight. So we could get, as we did, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Moxley and Eddie Kingston on AEW recently. But, you know, who knows? Maybe a triple threat between the three at some point, if they feel like it. But whoever wins the Eliminator tournament for the world title at Full Gear, those finals will face the champion, of course. But you would think they're still going to have a championship match at Full Gear for the AEW World Title, but they might not, though, either. But you would think that'd be the, you know, the best route to go. Moxley or Archer defending against, you know, whoever. And, you know, if Archer wins, okay, Eddie Kingston settles the beef. If Moxley wins here, maybe a triple threat or maybe even a rematch from a few weeks back. I believe they had a match, as mentioned, or even a rematch, you know, from this main event tonight, but only time's going to tell. We got a few now steel chairs set up in the middle of the ring. Archer going to reverse it, choke slam John Moxley through the steel chairs, 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5. Damian Priest with a takedown on Dexter Lumis. Lumis was formerly in TNA Impact Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. Can't recall his ring name there by any means at this moment, but he's always been lurking wherever he's been. And, you know, like I just said, he's one of the most underrated talents right now, I do believe, in NXT that has a very, very bright future. Nice takedown from Lumis. Hitting some right hands on Damian Priest. John Moxley and Lance Archer. Archer grabbing a garbage can now from underneath the ring. Those two tables that are still set up ringside are still intact. Nobody's gone through them just yet. Moxley off the ropes, but then Archer with that garbage can right to the face of John Moxley as he was going to go for a suicide dive through the ropes. Garbage can now in the ring. Archer with another shot to Moxley. And now he's going to roll him over to the ring apron. Right in front of those two tables that are set up once again. Jake the Snake Roberts ringside. And what are we going to have here? A low blow from Jon Moxley. This is no disqualification, so that is legal. And then a DDT through both tables from Jon Moxley to Lance Archer. Eddie Kingston saying he doesn't care who the champion is after tonight. They're getting softened up for me, so it looks like, it seems like by what he just said there, it'll be Eddie Kingston against whoever wins this match here tonight at a later date for the AEW World title. As mentioned just a moment ago, Moxley, Eddie Kingston, Moxley Archer in another rematch there, or even a triple threat with the three of them. Moxley getting back in the ring, Archer trying to look for something else, but then he also gets back in the ring. Moxley, DDT, the paradigm shift, cover 1, 2, and Archer kicks out at the last second. And now he puts him in a headlock. He's going to try to make him pass out, go to sleep. And then Archer throws Mox into the corner. Quick roll up now. 1, 2, kick out by Archer once again. Archer going to go for another DDT. That connects on Jon Moxley. The blackout, as they call it, Lance Archer, cover 1, 2, Moxley reverses it, 1, 2, 3, Moxley defeats Lance Archer and retains his AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Moxley still champion. Good match. Lance Archer thought he had him, and then Moxley reversed it quick, 1, 2, 3, big boot from Lance Archer post-match. And now here comes the Lucha Brothers as they were on commentary with Eddie Kingston. And a steel chair from the Lucha Brothers right to the back of Lance Archer. Give me Eddie Kingston and Jake the Snake Roberts on the mic back and forth with one another every single week. And Jake the Snake trying to get Lance Archer now out of the ring as Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Brothers get in the ring as they're in there with Jon Moxley, who just defeated Archer and retained his AEW World title. Give it up for Moxley, says Eddie Kingston. Give the world champion his belt. Jon Moxley has carried the company. Eddie Kingston's proud. He's gonna turn on him here. You can do it. Eddie Kingston proud of Jon Moxley. Let's do it for Johnny. And they're all going to celebrate. All right, and then Eddie Kingston with an elbow to Jon Moxley before putting him in a headlock. So it seems like it'll be Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston at Full Gear for the AEW World Title, which I'm perfectly fine with. Both of these on the mic, the promos we're going to be getting and all the vignettes before the match actually happens, before it turns into a 5-star. Yeah, any day. Eddie Kingston says, "Give me the title." Look how beautiful this is. This is what we fight for. But you, I'm gonna get you, John. Eddie Kingston going after Jon Moxley. And it'll be Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Eddie Kingston. You would think, at least, at AEW Full Gear on Saturday, November the 7th. Damian Priest and Dexter Lumis for the NXT North American Championship, still going strong as we wind down this evening. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Kick out by Priest at 2.5. This is for the NXT North American Championship. We just saw Moxley retain his AEW World Heavyweight Championship over Lance Archer before being attacked by Eddie Kingston afterwards. Dexter Lumis off the top rope misses as Priest moves out of the way. Priest hits a big clothesline. Priest misses with the kick. Dexter Lumis gonna slam him down, cover, 1, and then he actually puts him in a submission instead of a pin. Priest now trying to reach for the bottom rope, and he puts his right foot there on the bottom rope break. Dexter Lumis gonna have to let go. Tie ball game once again with Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Lafayette as well at 20 apiece at the end of the third quarter. Lumis throwing Priest into the barricade, the steel cage barricade that they have now in NXT. Cameron Grimes with the attack on Dexter Lumis on the ring apron. Ref didn't see it. Cameron Grimes laying ringside. Dexter Lumis now getting choke slammed all to hell by Damian Priest. Cover, 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest retains his NXT North American Championship as well after an attack by Cameron Grimes on Dexter Lumis that the ref did not see. Damian Priest, along with Jon Moxley, still NXT North American Champion and AEW World Heavyweight Champion, respectively. With who knows what the future holds for Damian Priest, but it looks like Jon Moxley will in fact face Eddie Kingston for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at AEW Full Gear. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play this evening for AEW 1-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite. Future is very, very bright for All Elite Wrestling. WWE NXT live reactions play-by-play this evening as well. So thank you for tuning in and watching live reactions play-by-play of both AEW and NXT. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. As always, links in the description below. That thumbs up button, share on social media as well. Be sure to tune back in now this upcoming weekend on Sunday. NFL football with the Browns and Steelers, along with a Monday night double header as Damian Priest now attacking Cameron Grimes as Grimes was about to attack him post-match. So Damian Priest standing tall over both Lumis, who he beat after the attack by Grimes on Lumis, and then Priest to Grimes to close it out. this evening. So Jon Moxley still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Damian Priest still your NXT North American Champion. We'll see what the future holds for Finn Balor as your current NXT Champion. And hell, we got more post-match interference with a attack from Johnny Gargano to Damian Priest with a steel chair. So this is what the future holds now for Damian Priest in the NXT North American title. It'll be Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, it looks like, for the NXT North American Championship, with Jon Moxley once again up with Eddie Kingston for the AEW World title. Here comes William Regal from behind. They'll probably announce at Halloween Havoc it'll be Priest and Gargano, the Gargano way, for the NXT North American title. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT in the books for tonight, Wednesday night, October the 14th, 2020. Hopefully everyone is safe and will continue to stay safe. As mentioned, be sure to tune back in for more live reactions play this upcoming weekend in the NFL with Browns and Steelers and the NFL Monday night doubleheader next Monday night with Chiefs, Bills, Cardinals, Cowboys, and WWE Monday Night Raw a week from Sunday as well with more NFL football. It'll be Steelers Titans that day with WWE Hell in a Cell later on in the night, before in 2 weeks time the returning Halloween Havoc, WWE NXT Halloween Havoc with AEW Dynamite. Thanks once again for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.